In this video, I'm going to show you how to embed a chart, the out-of-the-box Dynamics 365 chart within Microsoft Power Pages site. So in order to embed a chart, first you need to create a page. Okay, so we call this page as say graphs. Okay, once I have this page created, then I can embed a chart. But if you see over here, in this canvas, you can't add a component which is related to chart. You can add Power BI component, but not a chart. So for that, you need to go into the backend. You need to go into the backend and open using Visual Studio Code. Now, the syntax for adding a chart is quite simple, which I'll just show you once it loads. Yep. So now this is the backend for the graph page. Let me close the Copilot. Here, what I'm going to do, here I'm going to add a div tag. Okay, and I'm going to write a liquid code. Now the liquid code is very simple. You need to have a curly braces and you need to have a percentage sign. Okay, once you have this, some space, and here you can write the syntax. So first is chart. Okay, so that's the syntax. So you need to type chart, and then you need to give two components. One is the ID of the chart. Okay, so this is the ID of the chart, and you need to specify the view ID. Okay, so this is the view through which that chart has been created. So once we get this value, our chart will be rendered within the portal. Now let's take an example. Let's take a common example. Let me close this. Let me navigate to the backend. So I'm in the environment, so let me go into say account table. Okay, now if I go into the account table, yeah, then I can navigate to a view. Okay, so here if I see this view, now let's take for example this view. Okay, all accounts. Now if you go inside all accounts, then you will be navigated to a designer basically to modify your view. Here, from here you can copy this URL. Okay, from this GUID, basically from this URL. Now this is a view ID. Okay, so let me copy this. Okay, now alternatively, if you have any model driven app built using that say entity, so take for example this is accounts. Okay, now here as well, like if you navigate to say all accounts view, then if you parse this URL, okay, then here you will find something called as a view ID. So that's the same number, so you can copy this also. So this is called as a view ID. So you need to first have a view ID. So let me copy this view ID and put it in the code. Okay, so here that's a view ID. Now second thing, what we want from here is say render a chart, right? So if I go here, I'll say show me the chart, and there might be some out of the box chart already created, or there might be some which you might have created. Okay, so these are the couple of charts which I have created, and these are out of the box charts. Okay, now if I select something over here, so take for example accounts by owner. Okay, now say if this is the chart which I want to render, then what I can do, I need to have the chart ID. Okay, so in order to extract the chart ID, uh, one way to go is click here and say export the chart. Okay, now once we export the chart, it will download an XML file. Okay, so let me open this XML file. Now in this XML file you will find the chart ID. So this, under the visualization node, you will find a chart ID. So copy this, okay, and paste it in your uh, liquid code. Okay, so now we have got a chart ID and now we have got a view ID. Save this, Control S to save. Once you save this value, go into the Design Studio, click on Sync. And once the changes are synced, let us preview the chart. Now here, if I go back, I'll show you this is the code which we added. Now it is rendered as a custom component and it is mentioned here as this is a chart placeholder. Now, once this page loads, then if everything is configured correctly, then we should be able to see the same chart which we just saw in the all accounts page. It might take a while for the changes to persist, but once it is all sent up correctly, then you should be able to see the chart. Now, this chart is out of the box available within the Dynamics 365. We haven't created anything, but it was already present. It was a system view basically, uh, and we try to render this. So now, as you see over here, now this is the chart which has, like, you can hover mouse over here and you can see various tooltips around it. So this is how you basically render a chart within Microsoft Power Pages site. Uh, Now again, the syntax is very simple. You need to have the liquid prefix and postfix. Uh, Chart is the keyword, and ID and view ID. ID is the ID of the view, and view ID is the ID of the chart, and view ID is the view uh, identifier. So in accounts, if you go in all accounts, I showed you how to extract the view ID. So either you can go into make.powerapps.com and go into the relevant table and try opening that table, or if you have a model driven app for that particular table, you can extract it from the URL by using view ID equal to uh, placeholder. So that's it, folks. This is how you render a chart within Power Pages site. But one thing to be careful about this, there are many charts which are not supported. Okay. Now, unsupported chart types are donut and the tag. So if you are using a donut and a tag chart, then it will not get rendered. Also, there are some conditions which needs to be fulfilled before you render the chart. Now you can navigate to this URL and try to get those information from here. Now, if you see this list, this says the following table lists the Dynamics 365 chart that are currently not supported in Power Pages, because they might be using a tag or a donut charts, and maybe some may not be even using that. So just make sure that when you are rendering those charts are not part of this particular list and table type. Thanks for watching.